Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, before last year, I wasn't a fan of dating or relationship reality shows. I love reality shows because they allow me to actually see how humans think, how humans behave, and as someone who's very interested in human behavior, I get to think deep about why people behave the way they behave. But then, sometime last year, a friend told me about Love is Blind, and I was like, okay, let's go see what's happening there. I started a show. I wasn't feeling it, so I dumped it. But then, with much encouragement, I got back to it, and I'm excited and glad that I got to see it. And so, in this particular series, which is going to cover my experience of the lessons learned from love and dating shows, Majorly Love is Blind, Ultimatum, To Marry or Go Home, and The Perfect Match, I will be sharing with you lessons that I've learned and that I think it's good or that people can pick and also share some thoughts around that. And so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So let's get started. So I began watching Love is Blind. Now basically it's a love and dating game show where people are put in the pod. You're not seeing the person at the other end, and so everybody's just doing his own thing. You're having conversations with different people. So in short, you get to date everybody, right? And then finally make your decision as to who you want to propose to as a guy. Now, you get to see this person for the first time when the person comes out of the pod, and then you do whatever form of proposal you want to do, and that is where the real work begins, guys. So you start your dating journey. Now, part of this involves you meet family members, you meet friends, and trust me, women are going to take you to the cleaners if you mess up, right? I realize that the female gender usually want guys to meet their friends, and the friends tend to like give an opinion about the guy. I think this gives them a sense of security, all right? Because if their friends are not cool with you, I think it gives them some worries, all right, that they're going to have issues because who do they run to when you begin to misbehave and they cannot understand why you are behaving the way you're behaving? Now, don't get me wrong, we all have some point where our partners don't understand why we're behaving the way we're behaving. It's just, I mean, because we're human and these are two people who are coming together to understand themselves and to know themselves. So they're not perfect, right? So there will be times that you will not understand why your partner is behaving the way he or she is behaving. Trust me. Now, all of this happens, and then finally you get to move to the altar. Now, at the altar, the job is to prove if indeed love is blind. As I said, a couple of scenarios where the guy left the lady at the altar. I was like, after all the vows, you've been this to me, you've helped him to mature, you've helped him to grow, you've been da 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 da. And it says, will you take so and so to be your lawfully wedded wife? Blah 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 blah. And you hear, no, I don't. And trust me, the producers are very good at what they do because they give that suspense at the altar. And you're wondering, will this guy say yes? Will this guy say no? I must confess, the one that blew my mind was the one between SK and Raven. Like, I wasn't expecting that no from SK. Trust me. Now, let me share some perspectives here. I have realized that sometimes we tend to deceive ourselves about what can work and what cannot work. See, I understand that you feel mushy about this person. I understand that you your chest is banging, right? I understand that there's something that's running in your stomach when that guy calls you or the lady calls you and all. But have you sat down to actually check the logicality of your decision? So you have someone who the lady's already working, the guy is studying, right? And your conversation, she has told you that it's an issue for her that you're schooling and she's working, and you still want to choke your head to start that thing. There are going to be issues, right? Yes, I agree that sometimes it does work out. I agree. But if you take statistics out of 100, right, let's say it's out of 10, 100 might be too wide. Out of 100, how many end up working out? Number two, you know that you both have different sexual orientation. One person is bi, the other is straight, and you think you're cool with it just because you think you love this person and you don't know where you're going to start from if you lose this person. Wake up. If you yourself aren't bi, or you haven't even attempted being bi, you're going to have issues with your partner being bi, except you're interested in doing threesomes. Yes, you can take me to the goddess for that. I don't care. Thirdly, your partner earns more than you, or your partner is in debt. Those two scenarios. And you know this is a concern for you, and you still feel that because you love this person, it's okay. If not properly managed or handled before you go far, there are going to be issues. Now, I have one of the things that I learned about this show is the power of communication and conversations, especially the things that you discuss during your talking stage. Now, because the pod, while you're in the pod, you're not seeing the persons you're conversing with. So you have the opportunity to ask all manner of questions, right? All manner of questions so you can make informed decisions. Now, something happened, right? There was a particular guy who had been with a man before, and I mean, my point is, during all the talking stages, let's even assume they want to tell all the ladies he spoke with. When you finally decided you were going to go with a particular woman, he should have told us that she can make an informed decision. She knows, okay, I'm accepted to be this guy's babe because I really want to be his babe, even if he has been with men before. But then you didn't tell her she agreed to be your babe, you hugged, you kissed, blah, blah, blah. And then one day you threw it to her face, boom. And you expect her to just take it like that. And then you're angry, and all that. And then, you call her names and all. Now, here is the point. Please and please talk about everything talkable, everything askable during your talking stages. Do not hold back any information whatsoever. Now, it's for the good of both of you. People have lost good women just because they did not open up early on about where they are or what they've done. Now, I say open up earlier because I say they lost good women because at the point these good women or good men, yeah, got to know what had happened to you, they felt betrayed. They felt deceived. And trust is earned. Trust is not automatic. People get to trust you because you earned it. You worked for it consciously or unconsciously, not because you have to be given. No, you work for it, so you earn it. And trust is a big deal in relationships. And I say any form of relationship whatsoever. Trust is a big deal. If I cannot trust you as a friend, it's a big deal. It means I can't even leave my drink with you. That's what it means. So, do not wait until this person has agreed to be your babe or this guy is deeply in love with you and then you now begin to open up your kind of past. No, it's not fair. No, let's be serious. It's not fair, right? So, during your talking stages, be open about what has happened to you, where you've been to, what you've been through. All right? Talk about everything. And that's what talking stages are for, right? Talk about everything. Secondly, communication. There's a difference between speaking with someone and communicating with someone. Now, you can speak and speak and speak, but you must pause to ask yourself, does this person understand what I'm trying to say? Because if the other person doesn't understand what you're trying to say, then you haven't communicated at all. So you must always strive to communicate and not just to talk or to speak, right? And you see, I did see a number of them who were really communicating and they ended up getting married, right? Even by the time they came for their reunion, one was pregnant already, and so it's pretty much important that you communicate. And you see, communication, like communicate your fears. Like don't be scared. Okay? Don't be scared. Communicate your fears to the other person. Because you're human after all. Don't try to be a superhuman. No, no. Be human. So that both of you can be human together, right? Be human for you're supposed to be human, all right? Share your fears, share your excitement, all right? And let that humanness come. Don't try to be superhuman. Be open, be vulnerable. It's hard, yes, I know, right? But then again, this now brings us to the point where vulnerability is also earned. Vulnerability is not handed to you on a platter of gold. If I can trust you, then I can be vulnerable with you. But if I cannot trust you, I'll find it difficult to be vulnerable with you. So, vulnerability and courage go hand in hand. Vulnerability and trust go hand in hand. So, I'm courageous enough that I can be vulnerable, but I'm also vulnerable with you because I trust that you would not use my vulnerability against me. You would not use the things that I have said against me. Let me say here that one of the things that I always try to ask people to do is if relationships are going to end, let them end amicably well. Let them not end on a sad note that you can't even see yourselves tomorrow and say hi. Okay? Because the world is a global village, right? And you never can tell who is going to open the door for you to go in. Now, hold on. I know in your mind you're saying, "But he cheated, but he fathered a child, but he hit me, he did this." I get it. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But hear me out. I am not saying you should be friends with that person. That's your decision. Go on your healing journey. Go on your healing journey. I've spoken about forgiveness over and over. It's a topic that is never outdated. You don't forgive because the other person deserves it. You are forgiving because you deserve it and you need it to heal and move on. Okay? So you're not forgiving because that guy, that lady deserves the forgiveness. You are forgiving because you need that forgiveness for you to be your perfect self, right? And for your own mental stability. So let it go. You don't have to be friends, right? Hold no grudges in your heart against that person. Tough? Yes. Possible? Yes. Does it take time? Absolutely yes. But you see, time doesn't just happen like that. You work with time to get to that destination. And sometimes you may not be able to get to that destination by yourself. You may now need help. So the real question here is love really blind? I don't think that you should fall in love blindly. And even though the title of the show says love is blind, one of the things that I realize is that love is actually not blind because in the end, you can actually see through conversations. You can actually see through communications. You can see through what people say if you open up your antenna and mix your emotions with your logicality. While you're having conversations with this person, you're able to read with it between the lines and you ask critical questions. And even if they lie, it takes a lie to cover up another lie and a lie to cover up another lie, right? So I think that actually you can see through conversations with people and actually know if these conversations are genuine, especially if you consistently converse with someone. And so why am I sharing this? As a student of psychology and as a professional, I have come to realize that relationships form the foundation of our society, our community. Whatever it is that we do is built on the relationship that we built with people, with businesses, with organizations, and they form that springboard that moves us right above or that moves us forward. And so we have to prioritize the kind of relationships that we form, the kind of bonds that we form with people, how we approach our relationships, especially the ones that demand our emotions, the ones that demand our presence and our attention. That it's very important that we are critical of them and that we, as much as possible, love not just with our heart, but also with our heads. And also understand that whoever you're falling in love with is not perfect. But you also understand that you don't leave grudges or you don't leave issues unattended to, don't allow them to fester, that you address them straight up. Now, what this helps you to do is it allows you to so let me clear something here. When I say address issues straight up, right? Don't address issues when you are angry. There's a high chance that you wouldn't hear what the other person is saying. You would hear what you think the other person is saying, and you would assume what the other person is not saying. So, what I usually teach people or teach clients is take a walk, right? Take a walk, cool down, and then regroup when emotions have died down. Address issues and not persons. So you said so and so. I'd like to know what you meant by that. Not so you told me so and so. You are trying to say that I am, or you are no. Lay down the issues on the table and address the issues. Ask for clarity. Seek to understand what this other person is saying. Put down, this is what I thought you were saying. Am I correct? If not, could you please help me understand what you meant by that? That way, emotions are not heated up and you both are able to approach the issues. So I'll wrap up by saying one of the things that I've come to learn about human existence is that we all want to be a part of something. We all want to belong to a group. And the search to be part of something, the search to be significant is where relationships come in, whether it's friendships or romantic ones. And we have to make those decisions circumspectly. We have to make those decisions with our antennas on. We have to make those decisions with a mind of, I'm bringing something to the table. This person is also bringing something to the table. So it's not just one person who is bringing stuff to the table. And that when issues arise, you're able to address those issues. And it's also possible that you both are not able to address those issues. Sometimes you might need an external party. So please do not hesitate to, as much as possible, address issues when they come up. Okay. Yes, so address issues when they come up, and do not be defensive, right? Listen to respond. Listen to understand before responding, I meant to say. Don't listen because you just want to respond. No. Listen to what the other person is saying, ponder, and then respond. Right. So thanks for watching. I hope you've picked one or two things. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them around relationship, around dating, and around your mental health or how to deal with past trauma. And if you need professional help, do not hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at Tolushe Francis, or even here, you can drop your comment here or send an email, Reuel Consulting, REUEL Consulting at gmail.com, and I'll definitely get back to you. So like come your way again with the next part of this series, which is the ultimatum to marry or go home. Stay jiggy.